Well, I noticed a lot of new faces this evening, and I'm so glad you all came. And I want you to know that this is a safe place to share. So if you want to tell us your story, there'll be no judgment.
Hi, my name's Charlie, and as you know, I have a problem. I'm addicted to automobiles. My latest addiction, as you may know, has taken me from Mercedes to the Volkswagen Beetle. I'm stoked about the bug. I've always wanted a bug, and I got my wish. So be careful what you wish for. May or may not be a good thing, but I'm excited about it. I'm gonna try to accomplish two things with this video, and it's not gonna be a long one, so stick with me. But first and foremost, I actually found my Volkswagen guy. Finally, I've actually met so many people and made so many contacts within the Mercedes community, and I needed to start fresh with the Volkswagen community because obviously I'm gonna need a lot of help and guidance along the way. I wanna learn and I wanna do as much as I can myself, but I also wanna get stuff done and I wanna get done right. So it'll be a nice little mix of both in there. But I wanted to find and make contact with someone who is going to be a long-term answer that could be along for the entire project, and I could get consultation, help, and have them do some work when I can't. So I found Eric from Motorsports Unlimited here in Simi Valley. If you're from the area, you probably know it. Really cool guy, really receptive to my situation where I don't know a lot, wasn't super judgy, was willing to dumb things down to explain them to me, willing to help me. He took the bug, he looked over everything, he tuned some stuff up, made sure it was running great, made me a list of things that need to be done in order of whether they're needed right away or they can wait, kind of noted as to how much I should expect to pay for them, also noted for things that I can do myself. So really good connection, exactly what I was looking for. I suggest anybody who gets into this as a hobby, you're going to need to surround yourself with people that you can trust and who can kind of fill in the blanks for you. Obviously your blanks are going to be different than mine. You may know a ton more about cars. It's still nice to have people, to bounce other ideas off of or look at things a different way than you look at them. Or you could be like me and know absolutely nothing, and clearly you're going to need somebody who's patient, and you're going to need somebody who's willing to deal with it, willing to you're taking on a project and they're taking you on as a project. So that was really important for me to find, and I found it. The main thing I wanted to make this video about was Eric told me about, he said the very first thing I need you to do is you need to go buy a book. And the book is How to Keep Your Volkswagen Alive, a step-by-step manual for the complete idiot. It's a long title. But just know that, yeah, he was calling me a complete idiot, but he's not wrong. This book is rad. Like, you can get a Haynes manual. There's a million other manuals that you can find that will explain the processes and stuff. But this one does all that. And plus it's got the history. It's from somebody who loves the car. It's not just completely technical. It's interesting to sit down and read. How many step-by-step manuals are going to tell you that the first thing you need to do is loosen up a screw with love? Whatever you do, love the bug. It's super hippie, which is super Volkswagen. I don't know. Volkswagens are just different, man. The people are different, and this book really attests to that. You can get them on Amazon. I mean, there's used copies out there, brand new. I think they're like 20 bucks. 22 bucks or something like that. Very cool. Like I said, interesting to just sit down and read. And that's what he told me. He's like, don't just keep it, just like read through it and see. I've only gotten to use this a little bit, but it's already come in handy. But for doing things, you know, they separate things in phases. Phase one is just beginner stuff, tells you what tools you need and what you can tackle in phase one. And then as your knowledge grows, you can tackle phase two jobs, or phase three would be kind of pro level, real heavy mechanic stuff that, you know, maybe I'll get to, maybe I won't. I don't know, but I got the book here to do it. I highly recommend this book. Check it out if you're just getting into Volkswagens. Even if you're into Volkswagens and you haven't happened to have heard about this book, definitely it's worth the money. to buy. It's very interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll try to keep this short, it's gonna be a rant, and I don't like to rant, but bear with me. So I found Eric at Motorsports Unlimited, but that wasn't the first place I went. There's a shop here in Simi Valley that's supposed to be known for Volkswagens. It's the be-all, end-all Volkswagen wizard of all time. And I'm not gonna talk about names, I'm not gonna talk about the name of the shop. Doesn't really matter. I stopped there, and hey, just like I am with you guys, I'm very forthright with the fact that I don't know very much. I'm not a mechanic. I am a glutton, and I am over my head for sure all the time. Just get over it. Like that's what I am. Is it smart? No. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. But I still love it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it with or without you, so that's fine. I'm the only one that's suffering. It's not hurting anybody else. Anyways, I stop off at this other shop, and I go in, and I'm super excited. I had talked to this person in another context before about a car that they were selling, and I wasn't thrilled about that interaction. But I thought, well, this guy's the expert for Volkswagen, so I need to start with him, and hopefully things will be better than the first time. I was on my way home from work, stopped off, walked into the shop. Bell rings on the door, and a guy peeks his head out from behind the hood of a Volkswagen and just looks at me like, what do you want? I didn't even think he greeted me. He just stared at me. It was strange. Hey, I'm here to see if you would be able to look at my Volkswagen. I just picked it up. I'm dumb and excited and stoked at this point because this is the beginning of my adventure. This guy had very little interest in helping me. He had very little interest in taking on a project. He didn't even seem like he wanted me in the shop. Okay, whatever. He says, what's wrong with it? I said, oh, nothing's really wrong with it. I just want somebody to look at it so I kind of have a baseline as to what I'm going to be doing to get this thing where I want it. I just want to make sure it's good and it's drivable, and just get somebody to check it over. Yeah, I can fit you in a week, whatever. He kind of grumbled under his breath. And he says, what year is it? What is it? And I told him, 1972 Super Beetle. Oh my God. He went off about how crappy Super Beetles are. Why'd you buy that? That's literally what he says. Why did you buy that? Let's look at this from their perspective. If you're a mechanic, if somebody buys the worst car in your opinion, you know it's terrible. Aren't you happy? Because you're gonna get lots of work, lots of money, and take advantage of it, right? If this was a pre-purchase inspection I was asking for, then that opinion would be valuable. Nah, they're kind of bad, I'd stay away from them, whatever. I'd still do it with some kind of class and some couth. That's neither here nor there. But after I buy it, it's already in my possession. I'm already separated from my money, and I have the car with me. What purpose does it serve to tell me how crappy the car is?
Congratulations, you just crossed the line into completely useless. Get out.
So this rant isn't really for other gluttons out there, people who are hobbyists, other than to say, man, don't put up with crappy customer service. You know what? You could be the greatest mechanic in the history of mechanics. You could literally turn my bug into a $40,000 museum piece. If you're a crappy person, I don't want to work with you. I don't care. There's always other mechanics. But the purpose of this is just in case any mechanic sees this, and this stretches across any field. Deal with customers, deal with people with respect and some sort of compassion, even if you're having a horrible day. I get it, everybody's got a bad day, everybody's this, but there's a certain level of respect. And the other thing is, if you're not great with people, I'm sure there's tons of mechanics out there that literally are mechanics because they'd rather be around a car or around an engine or elbow deep in grease than deal with people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's different. But hire somebody else to deal with people for you then. There's no excuse just because you don't like people. If you run a business, don't be an a-hole. What kind of business owner are you? Obviously, this guy's got so many customers and has so much business over the years that he didn't need me. That's fine. I don't need him. So we're even. That's perfect. I found somebody else who is fantastic. And I'm more than happy to give this person my money. So I don't know. As people who are paying for mechanic services, paying for parts, paying for expertise that people have, I feel like, you know what? Be choosy. There's going to be points in your life where you just need something fixed and you got to deal with it, or you really need something done and the one person's got the means to do it or the tools to do it or whatever. If that happens, it happens. But for the most part, there's multiple options, and I feel like the times where mechanics or any service position, any expertise, doctors, anything, doesn't matter what field you're in, the internet and the ability to talk to people across the world about their experiences and stuff, it's brought everybody together. It's a lot harder to be blindly dependent on anybody, whether it's a mechanic, whether it's a doctor, whether it's whoever. So we can afford to be a little bit pickier about who we deal with. And I don't know, if you're a mechanic out there, I hope you see this and just realize, like, trying to make somebody feel dumb, try to make somebody feel bad about a purchase they have, it doesn't even matter if you're right. Dude, that Super Beetle might be the biggest piece of junk on the planet. You still have no right to tell somebody that, to put somebody down, to I don't know, to just make somebody feel bad. So I didn't put up with it. I hope none of you put up with it, because the less people that put up with it, then they won't be able to do it anymore. They're gonna have to compete. They're gonna have to raise their level of customer service. They're gonna have to figure out something else if they're not good at customer service in order to get business. And I think people who are conscientious, people who are compassionate, people who are friendly, they deserve business. Add that to honesty and being good at their job and everything else. Yeah, you can be really nice and terrible at what you do, and that doesn't help either. But find a mix. So that's my rant. I was down for like 2 days after that, thinking like, number one, I had a terrible car, and number two, I was gonna be by myself trying to figure this out, and I was a little overwhelmed, and then I found somebody else. So there's always somebody else. Doesn't matter how good you think you are, there's somebody else who can do what you do. Everything turned right back around. I'm happy about my car again. So that's it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got lots more on the Volkswagen coming up. Got lots on my Mercedes coming up. And we've got some surprises from other people too. Remember, this is about cars in general. I love all of them. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share this with somebody who loves cars, somebody who loves these kind of videos. I'd love to grow this channel and do some fun things, some giveaways or whatever we can get into. Like the video, click the little bell, and be reminded of new content. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.